Hey everyone, it's me. Welcome back to this channel on Narcissism. Today we're going to talk about a little saying that I came across on a social media platform that says, the narcissist remembers everything. The only problem is those things never happened. How true is that? That is so true. It's one of those statements that as I read it, I thought, yep, that is so true. It is so damn true. And then it made me think of all of the different ways in which narcissists use memory distortions and remembering to control situations. So let's break it down. So when we say the narcissist remembers everything, we mean that they do have a remarkable ability to remember a lot of stuff. They remember conversations, people's birthdays, special events, lots of minutiae. You may be surprised at how much the narcissist knows about you, your family, your friends, your work, your life, your hopes and dreams, even things that you have told them that you didn't really want to share because they are just such good listeners. Right. The truth is they listen intently to many people and they observe everything. I mean, literally everything. You know how some people you meet you feel like you can't tell them anything or share anything because they judge you. Narcissists are kind of like that, except it's not that they judge you. They're sizing you up, they're assessing you, and they're taking notes. Everything that you say can and will be used against you in future narcissistic, angry rages, or smear campaigns. They also take note of people's likes, dislikes, interests, needs, values, vulnerabilities, you name it. The narcissist is observing you and taking notes. Now, normally in a healthy person, that kind of observation is filtered through our empathy and our understanding. A healthy person observes but doesn't necessarily weaponize what they observe. But the narcissist weaponizes it. All of that information they collect gets stored away for later use. It may get mixed in with other information, real information, but also the fantasies that the narcissist has. So let's get to the part that says the only problem is those things never happened. The problem is that a narcissist's memory is actually very egocentric. That means that they tend to remember things that reinforce their view of themselves and their greatness. They may selectively forget things that make them look bad or make you look good. They remember the times that you praised them and they conveniently forget the times that you criticized them or pointed out their flaws or their mistakes. In fact, it would be easier for them if you had never criticized them. And you could be sure that they will bring up any criticism you ever gave them, even if it was 10 years ago. And it was a moment where they were having an ego crisis and needed support. Instead, they turned it into a weapon. They may remember conversations that never took place, phone calls, texts, emails, events, encounters with people that may have been polite and nice, but definitely were not as grandiose as the narcissist now makes them out to be. They remember a story or conversation that you told them that went viral, that made you famous or made you rich. In other words, they may remember a story that you told them that if it were true would make them look good by association. Then they go and tell that same story to someone else and now you read the crazy one who is making it all up. If there was ever a discrepancy between what you say and what they say, guess whose version of events always trumps yours? Always? Hint, it's not yours. It's theirs. They will stand firmly behind their version of events no matter how many witnesses there are or how clear the evidence is that they are lying. They do not care about truth. They do not care about facts. They don't care about reality. It's their fantasy that rules. When we are talking about a malignant narcissist, they may actually consciously plant misinformation or lies or false memories in order to control or harm you. They may purposefully insert themselves into conversations in ways that serve their agenda. They may even intentionally set up situations or events in order to control the narrative. Let's take an example. Let us say you decide to leave a narcissistic relationship, or perhaps you try to set a boundary with a narcissistic boss, or you try to fire a narcissistic employee. The narcissist will then rewrite the narrative of the entire relationship. They will convince everyone around you, they're flying monkeys, that you did something terrible, that you said horrible things, that you committed some sort of betrayal. They may insist that they warned you or told you not to do something and you ignored them. They may say things like, I warned you that this would happen. I told you that you couldn't fire me and you would regret it. They will say, I tried to help them but they wouldn't listen. Or my favorite, you didn't destroy me. I left you. You didn't fire me. I quit. They will spin the narrative in such a way that they are the heroes of their own story and you are the villain. In a court of law, they would be considered an unreliable narrator. In fact, in a legal case, they would be considered a potentially dangerous witness because their memory is so skewed and their motivation for lying is so obvious. They are like a child who refuses to tell the truth about another child who did something wrong. The difference is that a child usually does this out of fear of punishment while the narcissist does it to maintain control and power. Now, you may be wondering why anyone would believe them instead of you. And the answer is pretty simple. Because they are so charming and charismatic, they have a way of sucking people in and making them believe their lies. They're skilled at it. Some people may see that the narcissist is lying, but they don't want to believe that someone could be so manipulative, so they go along with it. They may even think that it is somehow your fault that the narcissist is lying because you provoked them or did something to make them act out. Gaslighting is the deliberate attempt to make someone question their own sanity. And a common tactic used in gaslighting is the use of false memory. False memory refers to the distortion of past events, either by remembering events that did not occur or by remembering events differently than they actually occurred. In other words, it is the act of remembering things that are not true. False memories can be implanted deliberately, as in the case of malignant narcissism, or they can arise from a variety of psychological processes, such as the influence of suggestion or the reconstruction of memories in light of new information. When it comes to gaslighting, false memories can be extremely effective as a means of manipulating and controlling another person. By making someone question the accuracy of their own memory and perception of events, the narcissist can sow seeds of doubt and confusion in their mind. This can cause the victim to become increasingly dependent on the narcissist for validation and can make it difficult for them to assert themselves or stand up for themselves. The narcissist may use false memories to attack the victim's credibility, to make them seem irrational or delusional, or to undermine their relationships with other people. For example, the narcissist might accuse the victim of making up stories about their behavior or might claim that the victim has misrepresented events to make themselves look good. They may also suggest that the victim is forgetting important details or that they are misremembering conversations that they had with other people. False memories can be incredibly difficult to detect because they are often based on subtle cues or suggestions rather than on overt lies or fabrications. Moreover, false memories can be very persistent and can continue to haunt the victim long after the narcissist has moved on to their next target. Dealing with the narcissist who remembers everything is exhausting. Living in a world where nothing is real and everything is a lie takes a toll on your brain and your soul. My hope in making this video is that you recognize this cognitive distortion for what it is, that you recognize it in yourself and in others. I hope you can keep this saying in mind the next time you encounter a narcissist who insists that you remember things that you do not. And I hope that you remember that it's okay not to remember everything and that it's okay to question the memories of those who insist that you do. And please drop in that super thanks if you want to support this channel. It helps to keep this channel afloat and helps to ensure that I can keep making these videos. And thank you to everybody who is already supporting this channel. Your support is appreciated. Thanks again.